Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So tomorrow is the last day of the first month of the year. Can you believe that? Already a month has gone by. Let's look at the markets. TLT is doing quite well finally. We really need that market to bottom, start going up. As you guys know, that's what gives the stability to the rest of the market. Is something very unique that we always look at around here. Not because we love bonds, but just because we understand the role they play in all the rest of the financial markets, either directly via serving as collateral in clearing services, for example, or by the fact that it's liquidity bonded to all the other markets, and it's a big daddy as it's bigger than all the others. Stocks, you had that DeepSeek situation in the beginning of the week. Things seems to be stabilizing. For the most part, tomorrow is PCE day, which is the favorite Fed's CPI metric. So a lot of things happen in the macro side. Canada cut its rates. The ECB cut its rates, mostly because the European growth has been terrible, with the exception of a few countries. So Germany has contracted, France has contracted, and then Spain has gone up 0.8%, and Portugal went up 1.5%. So Southern Europe seems to be playing, well, the leader. Usually the northern countries always did very well, and the southern lagged. This time seems to be different. Other than that, we had, of course, FOMC yesterday. I think the markets liked what Powell said, mostly because I think there was a lot of pricing in of kind of another December press conference, and a lot of people, you could go on Twitter or go anywhere, everybody was like posting pictures of, posting memes of Powell coming to the podium to speak, and all of a sudden the market tanking with deep red candles. So he didn't say anything particularly special. Of course, Trump wants rates to come down because he sees the same thing that we've discussed here ad nauseum, which is there's a big wall of refi coming June 2025. Now imagine this. A lot of bonds were issued in June of 2020 at the height of the pandemic and with the rates the lowest they've ever been. A lot of debt has come around that time. Now if you refinance all that debt at the current rates, oh my god, those budgets will explode. But in any case, liquidity keeps increasing, on one side by the central banks in other countries, but also in December, the money supply went up by 0.0% or 0.5%, something like that, which would put the yearly around 5% increase. As you guys know, the average is 8 to 10. I think we're still gonna go deeper than that. And now the question becomes, is it going to be because the Fed will start injecting liquidity and lowering rates? Or it's because deficits will keep ballooning, your pick. As long as liquidity increases, markets go up. Now on the Bitcoin front, Texas is putting forward legislation to make Bitcoin part of the strategic reserve of the state. Illinois is doing the same thing. Now this is very important because Texas, if Texas was a country, it would be the 8th richest country on the planet. So this is quite relevant, and I do believe now that the strategic reserve looks more likely than ever. Then, if you look at price action today, finally Ethereum is up almost 6%. As I've said, if you look at the previous cycles, February and March should be when Ethereum really wakes up. Is it going to be the case? Are we going to repeat the 2017 cycle? As you guys know, I've said that's my expectation. Once again, if I hadn't played cute with trying to front run the cycle, I wouldn't have made an ass of myself trying to say that Ethereum was going to be above 5K by mid-January, which was obviously completely wrong. In any case, if I look at the previous cycles, February and March should be a very strong months for Ethereum. We hope that's the case because that will lift the entirety of the altcoin market. Now, one of the good things that I've seen about altcoins is increasing number of channels predicting that there's not going to be an altcoin season. Saying, altcoin season? No. I think it was the guy from Crypto Banter, the Ray Nunes, saying, I don't think we're going to have an altcoin season because there's too many tokens and the energy is dispersed and the value is diluted. No altcoin season, like the guy who launched 2 meme coins, right? Saying this, the guy who's been pumping memes all day long now says something like this. And it's going to be funny because in a few months he's going to be the one saying that he always predicted that this altcoin season was going to be super strong. The same thing, he's going to be the biggest fan of Ethereum in a few months. I get the feeling that he's going to be. Now, when it comes to Solana, this should be an example for all of you in terms of when I talk about rug pulls, right? So there's this guy in Solana who basically does nothing but wake up, launch 18 tokens an hour, and rug pulls all of them. And this wallet is now close to $4 million. This is Solana, unfortunately. Now, of course, out of this, you're going to have some things that will pump and do very, very well. Some of them will do. But understand how difficult it is from a probabilistic kind of way. There's a lot of rumors about new ETFs for other coins. There's also rumors that countries will add other tokens than just Bitcoin. In any case, the stage is being set for a massive bull run. As I've said before, fundamentals precede price. Price will reflect soon enough the fundamentals that we're talking about. As you guys know, my predictions have been quite well known. I've said that I expect the cycle to bring Bitcoin to somewhere between $242,000 to $276,000. I've said this since 2023. We'll see if I'm right. The funny thing is I get the feeling that one day this prediction that, don't forget, when I started making this prediction, Bitcoin was barely above $20,000. And it was 2 years ago almost. But I get the feeling that, and at the time it was viewed as I was a completely crazy guy. I get the feeling that one day people will say, oh, your prediction was too bearish. You're too bearish. You're a clown, you're too bearish. I have the feeling that one day I'm going to see that. Just the same way that I said, one day you're going to see Bitcoin fall to 100K and people will say, and people will feel bearish about it. This was when Bitcoin was, I think, around the high 50Ks. I said this the first time. Said there's going to be a time where you're going to see Bitcoin dropping to 100K and people feeling, oh, God, very bearish. It is what it is. In any case, the cycle continues. Things are looking better. From an underlying standpoint, what would be useful in the US is to see increasing ISM, meaning the business cycle starts to pick up and not just the financial side of things, which is the deficit spending and the money printing we would like, and the lowering of rates. We would also like to see the business actually, the underlying business actually improving. On a little bit of side note, I saw Elizabeth Warren basically trying to have RFK promise not to sue Big Pharma after he left his position. So think about it. RFK has been suing Big Pharma with success and basically gaining a lot of money, not just for himself, but for his clients as well. So for people who've been damaged by these companies to get the rewards that those people deserve for being mistreated by Big Pharma. And here is the progressive woman that should be against Big Pharma more than anybody else, trying to have him promise not to sue them after he leaves office. And I'm listening to this. There's something wrong here. What the F is happening? I guess what? In her political campaigns, she got big donations from Big Pharma. What a surprise. This is the progressive Elizabeth Warren. The what is it? The champion of the people. Yeah, sure. No, I mean, as completely unrelated to anything, it's just I saw this and I'm like, yeah, this is the state of politicians in the earth. That's why they are so afraid of anybody like RFK who has enough money never to care again in his life and to actually try to make some changes. In summary, markets moving seemingly well, bond market stabilizing, crypto market is on path to its to the equivalent of 2017 cycle. Don't forget, the cycles are not exactly 4 years. The cycles are 3 years, 10 months, and many and 20 plus days, which should basically bring everything back versus 2017 by about 1 or 2 months. So keep that in mind. So far, so good. Does it mean the cycle will repeat? Of course not. Can we guarantee the cycle will repeat? Nobody can guarantee you anything, and if they guarantee it, they're scamming you somehow. But we do what we can. As long as I don't see major changes, major deviations from previous cycles, I see very little reason to throw my hands in the air. And I always think, you have Larry Fink buying Ethereum, you have President Trump buying Ethereum. Maybe they know something that I don't. And you've already heard Larry Fink wants to tokenize securities and bonds. Do you think he's going to do it in BNB? No, they hate CZ. Do you think they're going to do it in any of the layer 2s? No, massive concentration, massive admin risk. Do you think they're going to do it in Solana, which is basically going out, basically not working once a month? Or will they go for Ethereum, that they already own billions of dollars in it, and it's been around for quite some time? I don't know. It's for anybody's guess. We can always guess. This is a game, and the game means try and tilt the probabilities as much as you can in your favor, but understand that anything can fail, as like anything can fail in life outside of crypto and markets. And with that, thank you very much for your support, guys. Try to keep you posted, not only about the US stuff, but also outside of the US, because moving parts are very important outside the big sphere of influence that is the US. The rest of the world also gives you important signs for the future. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.